the glory. Every other weekend there's a cognac story. Before we give a toast, better make sure they pour me another glass and put it in the air for the time that passed. I said bask in the glory. Every other weekend there's a cognac story. Before we give a toast, better make sure they pour me another glass and put it in the air for the time.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Torian Meacham, and welcome to Cognac Stories. All right, we're back here. This is the fourth week in a row. All right, so unlike you guys and your New Year's resolutions, I followed through with something. So round of applause to myself. All right, I'm joined by the necessary troublemaker. All right, the revolutionary warrior. All right, because the revolution starts in the mind. So right now, he's teaching the kids. He's teaching the kids the truth. Right, my man. Zay Rivera, how you doing? How you doing, brother?
I'm cool, man. It's funny you say revolutionary because I literally was teaching the students about the concepts of the American Revolution and what sparked it, and giving them all these different figures from Phyllis Wheatley to Thomas Paine. It's just interesting. So I'm good, man. I'm good. Back for another week, man. Like you said, and this is the outlet that I appreciate you holding me accountable to make sure we here every week. Word.
I mean, I don't have any like an alternative because I just go to college online and smoke weed and play Xbox. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I'm glad you could join me because you have responsibilities in an actual life. So, you know, salute to you, brother. All right, but listen, we're gonna get straight to the shits. All right, I know the last podcast. All right, we did not touch on the impeachment and the outcome of that, and a lot of guys were like, "Oh, he got acquitted," and what does that mean? Did he get off scot-free? Well, the answer to that is no, he did not get off scot-free. One of the things that the Democrats were criticized about was the fact that they didn't call any witnesses. All that would have done was just drug the entire trial out, and we still be talking about it in April and May. All right, and we don't want that. So with them, you know, not calling any witnesses, letting the case get shut out, what that means is that now is that whole issue is done. However, he is now open to civil suits and any other litigation that is filed by private citizens. All right. And the day after his impeachment verdict was read, he had a civil suit waiting on him for his involvement with the riots. All right. So my man, Zay, any thoughts on Trump getting acquitted on the impeachment and him moving forward in the future, trying to dodge lawsuits?
Man, I think, you know, his Teflon Don is running out. You know, that shield of the presidency, you know, kept him out of trouble. But, you know, now that he doesn't have that privilege anymore, you know, shit is coming full circle for him. You know what I mean? And I don't know, man. I mentioned this because he just took that L. He got the Manhattan prosecutor on him, got the New York State prosecutor on him. Like, he got some big shit he got to deal with. Supreme Court ruled against his keeping his taxes private. Like, he gonna have a lot of fees. He gonna have the lawyer fees, man. And you know, but overall, in regards to the impeachment thing, it just would, you know, it's a lot of political theater. And regardless, if they would have brought witnesses, it would, like you said, would have just been long, drawn out, wasting tax dollars because the outcome wouldn't have changed. It would have just still been the same, and the same is that people would have voted along party lines, except for the 10 Republicans that went across the aisle, but not enough. So
the thing to remember, the thing that people got to understand is that in a criminal case, in a civil case, the burden of proof, like the amount that you have to convict somebody, is completely different. So you don't need as much proof as you do with a criminal case than you would with a civil case. So he's wide open to that. And he, you know, all the civil cases against, you know, Trump University, he's been losing those and settling those. So, you know, I don't think it's looking good for, you know, Teflon Don, AKA the Orange Assassin. But, you know,
do you think what's name gonna sue him? Like the, those election software companies? I know they suing the My Pillow guy. You think they're gonna come after Trump?
I definitely think they are. Shit, I want to pull up. I forgot the name of the name of the Dominion. Dominion is Dominion voting machines. Yep. Yeah, so they're the company that has all the voting machines, and he's been slandering their voting machines, basically saying that they've been hacked and compromised. And I mean, with the amount of influence that he has, that can negatively influence their stock, their value. That can
Absolutely.
devalue a company by,
Absolutely.
by spreading fake news. So I think with seeing them sue the My Pillow guy, and seeing who else they're looking to target, I definitely think he's probably going to catch a case from him as
Yeah.
well. He's
It,
probably
it,
going to catch a case from him as well.
it's just like, I think we turned the corner, right? I think we turned the corner as a society where people that are spreading fake news and lies in the media is going to start to be held accountable.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to seeing that, because I think his presidency just emboldened people to really take those theories off of YouTube and off of the fringe areas of the internet and bring it to the mainstream, and it's dangerous. It's really dangerous. So
yeah, we've been normalizing extremism, like that.
Absolutely.
That's exactly what it is. It's like the people that are super liberal or super conservative, because those are the only views that we've been hearing for the past 4 years.
Yeah.
There's no more moderate, and so we've normalized just people just fucking going to war over shit that doesn't matter. But talking about holding politicians accountable, your guy with the ugly wife, Ted Cruz, got caught going to Cancun with his daughters when Texas is in the middle of a state of emergency because they had horrible storms there. Temperatures below freezing. Anytime it snows in Texas, it's a horrible thing. And they've had hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people that have been without power and clean water for going on a week now. And Ted Cruz left after it happened, and then once he got caught, once they took pictures, the people, shout out to y'all out there doing your civic duty and not snitching, but holding him accountable, right? They told on him, and then he said, oh, it was a mistake. In hindsight, he wouldn't have done it. That's what he's quoted as saying. Here's the thing, right? You thought you were slick, and Texas, you realized it was a blackout. No one has power. You're the governor. Why the fuck should you stay there?
That's the governor. No, he's not the governor. Not the governor.
I'm sorry, not the governor. The senator.
Mm-hmm.
You're the senator. You're the senator, right? Thank you for holding me accountable. So you're a senator, and you're like, hey man, I don't really need to be here without power. I can just dip out, and so you leave, and you don't think anybody's going to catch you. And of course, motherfuckers out here telling, right? So they caught you and they told on you. And then, hindsight being 2020, you say you wouldn't have done it. But I'm going to tell you right now, I would have did the same shit. All right. Why the fuck? No. Listen.
What can he do, right?
Bro, if y'all tell me 100,000 of y'all don't have power, we don't need to make it 100,001. Listen, I got a jet. I got a plane that you taxpayers are paying for, and I need Wi-Fi. If I don't have power, I don't have Wi-Fi. You know who has fucking Wi-Fi? All those butt nigga resorts down in Cancun. That's Mexico. What's up. So listen, Ted Cruz, you try to be slick, but I would have did the same shit. Your take.
Hey man, yo, make it so bad about that. What made it even worse is the fact that his wife text message threads got leaked. Like, yeah, we just going out of here. So it just made them look tone deaf. Overall, it's nothing they could do. You know what I'm saying? It's just the optics of it all. And now it's all about like the look rather than the actual reality of things. I mean, shit. I don't know. Just like him coming back and trying to give out stuff. It just was a look. You're not helping shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're not. Yeah. But I don't know. It's just a bad PR move. And one thing about politics, it's about public image. So I don't know, man. I just think he should. Listen, he did what he could do as far as trying to right the wrong, and by going the PR route, yeah, I did for my daughter. My daughter what do you say to your daughter? You know what I mean? But he looked like a true aristocrat. He looked like a true nobility class doing some shit like that while the proletariat lay in squalor.
Hey, let them eat cake.
Texas is, it's crazy because I got people out there, man. They were saying how, they just not prepared to. Because I think people understand like the full details of things, right? Mm-hmm. It wasn't that it was like snowed in. Like the road was clear. You know what I'm saying? It's just that they aren't prepared. They don't have the infrastructure or the resources to deal with this type of weather. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, they don't got weatherized like pipes. They don't have like a salt reserve, how like places like New Jersey do. So, and also with the with the electric company. That's a whole
shout
nother
out
can
to
of
Jersey
worms.
being salty as fuck.
Yeah, Jersey super salty, man. Like you just ride around with ashy cars all winter. Like you just why you gonna drive? Why you? It's no point in washing your car. It's just your shit
Yeah.
ashy. But it's just all around, man. He just made a dumb decision optically, and his wife got some savages in her circle. She need to watch her friends.
Yeah, man. Hey, better watch them niggas that's close to you.
Exactly. Who the
Yeah,
fuck did
exactly.
that?
But yeah, man, Ted Cruz, listen, I empathize with you. This will be the only time you will ever hear me empathizing with a person like Ted Cruz. I empathize with you. But super huge shout out to AOC. This is not the AOC podcast, unless you want to sponsor us. But no, so AOC raised over $2 million.
Up to 4 now.
Damn, 4. Shit.
Yeah,
Thank
yeah.
you for the update. Yeah, she raised $4
Word.
million, got on a jet, flew out to Texas, and is out there giving out aid. Also, I want to say John Wall out there just got traded there doing the same thing. So you got a lot of people, a lot of celebrities as well that are doing Ted Cruz's job because he wanted to work on his tan. I mean, look, hey,
ugly ass haircut.
I mean, shit, man. What can you do?
Cut.
What can you do, man? What can you do? But speaking of people with ugly ass haircuts and people lying, our guy, Mayor Cuomo. So Mayor Cuomo has been posturing himself the same way Giuliani did after 9/11.
Great comparison.
So because New York has been the hardest hit state with regards to hospitalizations and deaths and cases, period. They've been hit the hardest. So he's been out here saying, oh, wear a mask and be responsible, and we're using science, blase, blah. However, back in April, May, that time frame, when we were reporting COVID deaths, what he was doing was not counting deaths that were from nursing homes if they died outside of the nursing home, meaning if the person got taken from the nursing home to the hospital, he didn't count that death as a nursing home death. All right. So what the BBC says is that more than 15,000 New Yorkers in care homes had died since the start of the pandemic, which was the highest in the U.S. But until late last month, the state's health department only logged over 8,500 fatalities.
That's crazy.
Right? And Mr. Cuomo said that the delay in the reporting on some nursing home deaths was because they weren't dying in hospitals, so it wasn't getting counted. So you get double the deaths because you're trying to. It's like The Wire. It's like watching The Wire. You know, and we're juking the stats.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what they're doing right now, because the same shit that we're criticizing Trump for, or we did. You got people on the blue side.
Opposites,
people
yes,
that
absolutely. Yep.
Out here posturing himself like he's going to make,
I was thinking that
a run, for the presidency.
Yep.
And he's got caught with his hand in the cookie jar. He's got caught being naughty again. It's not the first time Cuomo's been caught with some shit like this. And actually, CNN banned his brother from covering him now because.
Conflict
when
of interest.
When he had him on there, he didn't like this scandal had already come out, and he didn't ask him about it. So clearly a conflict of interest. So Governor Cuomo or Mayor Cuomo, you suck. All right.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. Like he was like doing the daily briefings, right? Like talking people through it, and he was the darling on my timeline. Everyone was like, "Oh, he can get it. He can." I heard chicks talking about he can get it, and he was like looking like that's how Trump should be. Like, you know what I'm saying? People were just giving him, singing all his praises, and then for this to come out and it be politically motivated, him like and they said that a private conversation was leaked to the Post. And shout out to them. That's why you need leaks, man. Even though people complain about leaks, but you need people that's going to leak information to the press. And in a leak, a top aide confessed to covering up the real numbers and withholding information out of concern of the data was going to be used against us. So that is strictly for the self-preservation of his office, right? And like you said, we got to keep the same energy no matter who's in office, right? We can't be hypocrites and put all this pressure on the Trump administration, conservatives and the Republicans, but then like be a little more forgiving with the Democrats. Get their ass out of here. People need to do the right thing instead of trying to be reelected. and or trying to propel themselves into higher office. Like, that's crazy, man. Tell us the truth. Tell us the hard truth. I mean, when you give people the truth up front, you let them adjust to it. Because at first, they're initially going to be upset, you know what I'm saying? But then they'll appreciate it when the emotions wear off. But when people find out they're being misled, like, yo, come on now, you're playing with my reality now. And now that's like political suicide. He's definitely not, and he's being investigated. So he might, man, listen, that's crazy. That's really sad that he did that. You know what I'm saying? And this is the chief executive of the state of New York. Like, this is the highest office in the state of New York. So, man, like, this is crazy, man. It need to be a bigger story, man. I mean, it is kind of a bigger story, but I just think the energy that people was given when he was doing the daily briefings is not the same energy he's getting in response. But then again, I ain't on Facebook, so I don't know. But he needs to be full of wrath. Yeah,
definitely. Because anytime you see something happen in a red state, the liberals jump all on it, and they're like, "Oh, see, this happened because you guys don't believe." Like, you have liberals talking about
Texas.
the storm, Texas. The storm happened in Texas because they didn't believe in global warming things. Like, they deserve what happened. And a tragedy should never be used as some kind of political token or some kind of bargaining tool or some kind of leverage. Like, that's like, you're dealing with human tragedy and you're using that as a talking point. But that's why I gotta say big up to AOC, because you don't hear anybody from Texas say anything good about her, and she's going out of her way to help them out. But I'm gonna tell you why. I got a little inside information. Right, AOC will be the governor of the state of New York.
You think so?
Yes.
You think so?
Yes.
I think she, first of all, should be a senator. I never feel confident in someone that's a House of Representative, because they have to go up for re-election so often. But you think she's like super progressive, like super liberal? Like, she is like one of the Democrats that go against the establishment Democrats. So you think that the state of New York will tolerate her like that? I just think that I think her act, not to say she has an act, but I just think her whole politics is good for New York City, but I'm not sure about the whole state.
Well, does it matter?
Yeah, because you gotta win. I mean, New York City, well, yeah, I guess, because New York City is 8 million people, right? That's a lot of people.
That's the question. Does it matter? Like, does she have to appease the I don't like the mainlanders, I guess, because New York City is a fucking island, but like the people if you've never been to New York City is a fucking, it's its own world, right? New York City is like the space station, right? And then New York State is like fucking the middle of nowhere, Pennsylvania, right? New York State is exactly like the movie Get Out. That's what New York State is like. It's just fucking suburbs in the countryside and a bunch of closet racists that say they would have voted for Obama twice, right? Or 3 times if he had ran again. But so the thing is that this is the thing, man. Like, she don't have to worry about that. All she got to do is focus on the city, win the popular vote. And I think the politics that she would want to employ, it would only work in New York State. Like, she wouldn't be able to apply it nationwide because it would be too much opposition. And it's like, you know what? She could just do that shit in New York and everybody else could just follow suit.
She's doing a good job of keeping her profile high. You know what I'm saying? Like, she's
always involved in something.
Yeah,
she's always
got like a Floyd. She's like the Floyd Mayweather of politics and shit. Like either you like love her or you fucking hate her and want to see her lose.
Yeah. She's super.
You gotta have an opinion. You have to have an opinion on her. You know what I'm saying? And she's like the boogeyman to the Republicans. And she got some mean clapbacks for some of these Republicans. And they be saying little slick shit. Like, she come with receipts. Like, she pull up. You know what I'm saying? But I did think she was a little dramatic when she talking about how afraid she was during the Capitol shit. I thought that was like real corny how she was playing that. I was so afraid.
Well, you know what it is? Here's the thing, right? Here's the thing, man. You and I, right? We can aggravate people in the conduct of our jobs, right? But we don't have to really worry about getting death threats. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like you may piss off one of your parents, but you don't got to worry about getting 1,000 death threats a day on all your social media platforms. And that's what she's dealing with is death threats and people videotaping her house and fucking showing her address, all this shit. You had fucking another congressman or another congressman like put her personal phone number out, things like that. So it's like she's got to deal with that. So if she, you already know half of the goddamn Senate doesn't like you, right? They would want to see you befall some kind of harm, and you got you just a mob of people, just like fucking rabid zombies outside, and they break into the Capitol building, and it's like, as you know, I'm trying to put myself.
She's recognizable. You're right. She's recognizable.
They're going to target her. They're going to target her, and then when you find out that they had lists on who to kidnap, and they found IEDs, things like that, she has every right to be as terrified as she is. Me personally, that's why you should be allowed to have a gun on fucking federal property if you are a federal employee. All federal employees should be allowed to carry guns on federal property.
So you must be a fan of Lauren Boebert. Lauren Boebert, she's like a representative from Colorado who's been trying to be allowed to bring her gun on the floor of Congress. And like she's talking about she's been very controversial. Yeah, look her up. She like got a picture with the
I know you're talking about because she kind of came out when one of the congressmen had got caught bringing a gun into one of the votes or some shit like that. So listen, like if you're in the chamber, you don't need your damn gun.
Yeah,
but if I'm to and from the office, things like that, I should be able to have my joint on me. Word. Come on, people coming from my head, baby. You know what I'm saying? So
I agree with that. But she just
voting against socialized healthcare.
trying to put her shit, trying to have her gun walk through the metal detectors and shit. So extra.
Or just have security. That's it, man. Just have security.
But LC, we see you, and Ted Cruz, man. Yo, change your haircut. You fucking old as hell.
Yo, first off, all right, here's the deal, man. What Republican has any kind of sauce or any kind of juice, any kind of swag? Like I don't know none. They all look like the old white men from the Dennis the Menace cartoon. Yeah. All of them look like fucking Mr. Wilson. Some shit. Like that's what every white
dude look frumpy.
Like all of them old dudes, except for the one that has his name is Dan Crenshaw. He has the fucking eye patch. Like he's the only one that stands out because he thinks he's Solid Snake from fucking Metal Gear and shit. But everyone else looks like fucking Mr. Wilson from Dennis the fucking Menace, man.
It look like the ass with that tell on you and shit if you're in public, like that guy right there. That's what they all look like. But man. So it's interesting, man. Keep your eye on politics out there, man. Stay engaged, man. That shit is like it's like a movie.
Yeah, and speaking of politics and politicians who didn't have a successful 2020 political campaign, our guy, our brother, who needs us in this time of great despair, Kanye West. Kanye.
Kanye. Phil went from his presidential run may have or may have not been a cause of his marital problems.
Damn.
That's what the streets are saying.
Listen, yo, my man, he was on the campaign trail talking about he wanted to abort his daughter and his wife didn't. He said that. He said that. I have the quote. Here's him. He was on the campaign trail. He said, "I almost killed my daughter. So even if my wife would have divorced me after this speech, she brought North into the world. Even when I didn't want to, she stood up and she protected that child." Unquote. And that is Kanye West by Torian Meacham. And so apparently he wanted to abort his firstborn, and he decided to make that public. Fam, your daughter's going to hear that, man, and be like, "Daddy, you wanted to kill me?" Like, yes. Why would Oh my God. Like you,
He gonna flip that though. He gonna be like, well, look, see, well, that's before I found Jesus, and the
yo,
Lord told me. So
Kim's
he
not
gonna be like,
religious like
that's why
that.
you.
Kim's not
That's why.
religious like that.
Yeah. But he
He's
is.
listen here. Oh man,
He said, yo, no church on Sunday. You my Chick-fil-A. You
listen,
my
man.
Chick-fil-A. Hey, yo, this is interesting, man, because this is I wanted to Vegas have odds on this relationship, like how long it will
Hell yeah.
last.
Shout out
Like,
to Ray J, man. What's Ray J the God? What's
hey
good?
man, Ray J, man. But it's I don't know, but at least it's an amicable separation, you know what I'm saying, from
I
where
mean,
it's being
they've been
reported.
separated for like almost a year, damn near. So
Like it's not dirty and grimy how the Dr. Dre divorce is. Like
yeah.
and they both like, icons as far as what their influence on the culture is separately. And I don't know, man. I don't really have much of an opinion on it. You know what I'm saying? Like I wonder if they're going to use this for their show. You know what I'm saying? Like how much is going to be leaked to the public because they curate their image so well in the
And
media.
this was the last season. Like this season was the final season. So their separation is gonna be wow. She chronicled like 3 marriages throughout that show. Because it was
Really?
Chris Humphries, Kanye, and I feel like there was somebody else in there.
And Chris Humphries.
I remember the receiver that played football. Miles Austin. He dated her for a while.
Yeah. Monmouth University, Miles.
Yeah. Because somebody I know saw them in Long Branch, and I was like, "Yo, why are you stalking them?" Yeah, I saw them in Long Branch. Yeah, That was fucking crazy. That was wild.
Yo, that's
Here's my thing, right? And I'm a divorcee, and that's some difficult shit to go through, right? So I hope they go through therapy and they have all the counseling for them and the kids. That's they have like what 4? They just had one through a surrogate, so it's like that's all serious stuff. All right. Now here's the not serious stuff. Who is going to be the first rapper to try to fuck Kim?
Yeah.
Who?
Hey man,
listen.
Probably Drake because probably Drake. Drake the only one that can do that. Everybody else might need Kanye. Drake don't need Kanye.
I'm just saying, like Lil Boosie is gonna go on live or some shit, or somebody's gonna come out here, and try to smash Kim.
If I was Drake, it'd be Drake. She'd be on my list.
That'd be the dagger. Pusha T would be fucking somewhere in a van ready to fucking kill Drake if that happened. Like Pusha T would kill Drake if that happened. He would have an aneurysm like fucking Drake had. Like,
yeah, that'd be
fuck that.
Drake could have a music about that. He'd have a nice song about that.
Yeah,
like,
I'm because now, imagine
have.
if she's in a Drake video after this. Drake gets, oh man, that's crazy. Damn, man. But that's the thing. And then it's like, all right, well, Kanye went through some heartbreak. His next album is going to be fire. To me, it doesn't matter. I haven't listened to Kanye since he went to Trump Tower and said that's my brother. That was the day I stopped listening to Kanye. Haven't listened to him since. So
he's a gospel artist now, so he's not doing no worldly music.
That motherfucker ain't no gospel. That he ain't paid a choir. This how fam. He getting bro. He's getting sued by the Sunday service choir. He gave this motherfucker some free clothes, bro, and like some plane trips, and like put him on his Instagram and shit. He gave him some free promo. They did that for the look. You know what I'm saying? They did that for the look. How, bro? How you doing gospel and you not paying the choir? You know what I'm saying?
That's crazy. That I forgot about that. I remember seeing that, but yeah, man, he got that song God. That was a dope ass song. I didn't listen to gospel, but he had 2 bangers on there. That song God.
That's what's up, man. You a better man than me. You a better man than me. And speaking of better men than me, all right. Speaking of better men than me, and men of God, all right. You mentioned something to me earlier about Sierra and Black America's favorite cornball, Russell Wilson. All right. Now let me say this right. Let me say something. To me, Russell Wilson is not a cornball. I would love to have a friend like Russell Wilson.
Right.
I would love to know somebody like him, but all my friends are like me, and we're all dirtbags, you know. So we look at that shit as corny, but he's what a man should be. Now
Yes.
he ain't always been that way. All right, but I'll let you take this one, man.
So yeah, man, it was a meme going around saying the women want they don't want Russell Wilson, they want Future to act like Russell Wilson.
Sensational.
And you know, it was an interesting meme because I think we all can relate to that, right? Like it seemed like women always want a guy with a little messiness and a little edge to him, and they always call a good guy corny or say dumb shit like "you too nice for me." I hurt your feelings, as if that man wouldn't be able to protect himself. And you know, like Russell Wilson always being clean cut, well spoken, drama free, and loving his wife publicly and loving his stepchildren. All the positive attributes you would want in a person is perceived as corny, and it just you know just shows the hypocrisy, right, of society, especially the black community sometimes. But it's some real shit, man. And he do be looking corny, man. Like when he be doing his little Superman curl shit, like he have the little curl in the front, like that.
He
Shit
had
looking corny.
cornrows with a do-rag on and had the flap all wrong and shit, man. Like
Yeah.
but I, you know, he's not from that kind of environment. You know, it's like
military brat, I think.
Yeah, so it's like in his circles, he's probably cool as shit. Like I have a mutual friend. I have a friend that was a neighbor that played on the Seahawks, and he would tell me stories about Russell, and I'm like, he sounds like a cool guy. You know what I'm saying? I'm
like what? Like what? Who? Like what?
He got hoes. I'm gonna tell you right now. All right, I ain't snitching. That he's before Sierra, because he left his chick. Like he came and he got drafted like engaged to like a 5. Then you come into the league and you realize, you don't get nothing but 10s, right? A 10 is a bad day. You know what I'm saying? And so you like, and he left her and then just went on a smashing spree until he met Sierra, you know? And it's like, I respect that.
He a man at the end of the day.
I mean, you don't see any outside kids, no baby mamas. You don't hear about him yanking some girl by a ponytail, nothing like that. So he's probably out there being a gentleman, taking them on dates like Bruce Wayne, smashing them and not calling them back.
You know, also though, he moved like someone that's he kind of got like that LeBron James / Derek Jeter mentality. Like while he's in his sport, he's active. He's all about his sport. I listened to a couple interviews by him. Like he really about this balling life. Like he said he spent like millions of dollars a year, like LeBron, on his body, whether it's like masseuse and diets and exercising. So he really focused. So he's someone that has a clear line separated. But then again, you know, a lot of these people, they have public relation companies that help them put out certain stuff. So they have consultants that like, somebody that would pay somebody like, what should I put out? Should I post? He like type of joker like, can I post this online? Like, you know what I mean? Type of joker that got a stylist that help him get dressed. So you have to really be careful with that stuff but then again, he also has been consistent because he comes from like a pretty solid family. And that's a good thing. I think women and men, like we will want our children to date someone like him. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
That would make us sleep better at night. You know what I mean? It isn't danger. But then again, Russell Wilson might be the type of joker that'll bust somebody in the hood ass in a fight. Like he in shape. Somebody in the hood who smoke and drink all the time, they try to get tough in here, whoop their ass because he in shape, they smoked out.
So Russell Wilson is Wayne Brady?
like they're sleeping on him. He'll wash somebody. Like people be sleeping on jokers, them athletes. Like I remember jokers talking about like I think it was NBA YoungBoy talking shit to an NFL player a couple years ago. I was telling my students, I said, man, yeah, watch NBA YoungBoy. He'll shoot them. I said, man, please.
Nah, let me tell you a story, man. So the friend that I was talking about, his name is O'Brien Schofield, right? And it's myself and my boy LaMarcus, right? And I had some friends over. We're watching the UFC fight, and he was my neighbor, and I hadn't met him yet. I hadn't even seen him, and I live like in a kind of military neighborhood, like almost. So I would see his wife and his kids, and I'm like, oh, she's probably married to some dude that's deployed or some shit, right? And so I had like all these fucking cars parked in the cul-de-sac and shit, and he had friends over watching the fight as well, right? And I'm like the king of the fucking cul-de-sac, bro. I'm like the Al Bundy of my shit, you know what I'm saying? Polkai, right? I run the fucking cul-de-sac, right? I never met him. So I'm like, yo, this is my shit, right? So one of my friends had blocked him in, right? One of my friends had blocked like one of his guests in, and then they end up arguing outside. And I come outside and I see like this little, Filipino dude. He's like 5'5", right? He's in shape, but he's like 5'5". My man is like 5'10", like diesel as shit. And I'm like, we about to rock this motherfucker to sleep, right? So I'm feeling, I have like all the confidence in the world right now, right? And then I'm like, yo, what's the problem? You know what I'm saying? I came out there like Doughboy and she's like, yo, what's the problem? You know what I mean? Like, what's good? Blase blah. And then they going back and forth and shit. And then I see out the doorway, you know how like in Avengers Endgame, Thanos comes through a fucking portal?
Yeah.
And he's just there big as shit. You know what I'm saying? That was this motherfucker walking through his door. You know what I'm saying? I'm like,
your neighbor?
Yeah. And I'm like, yo, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? And he's like, yo, and he like calls his boy back. And he's like, yo, is everything okay? And I'm like, yeah, man, everything's okay. You know what I'm saying? I told my boy, I was like, yo, get the fuck in the house, yo.
You got that big dog.
Yo, he goes in the house, and I'm like, yo, I live right next door, bro. They was getting for a parking spot. I'm like, yo, I'll move the car, ain't no problem, right? That was bitch move number one, right? I'm like, yo, I'll move the car. You know what I'm saying? Yo, bro. O'Brien Schofield, look him up. That nigga make you move your car, bro. And so I'm like, yo, I go move the car. And then I go in the house, bro. I go in the house and I get a bottle of champagne out my personal shit. Or it's like a bottle of Moet Rosé. And I go and ring his fucking doorbell and then give it to his wife and apologize. You know what I'm saying? Because I was
classy.
I was like, yo, listen, I'm gonna need this motherfucker at some point.
Absolutely.
Right?
You're gonna need
because like the zombies gonna break out of some shit. Or I might want to have a nigga to play spades with or something like that, but I need like niggas to chill with and shit. It's my neighbor, right? So I'm like, yo, I gotta like it can't be. I don't want, especially with a nigga like that. I don't want And then we became real good friends. Like we would watch football on Sundays and shit. He'd be in the living room like explaining defensive schemes. I'm like, I don't know what the fuck this nigga talking about.
He like an athlete.
Yeah, no, he got a Super Bowl ring and everything, man. So.
Yeah. Wow. Okay.
Yeah. He said Russell was out there getting them. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
But
so,
that's a bigger thing, man. Because you said they want a bad boy, but they want him to be Russell. But it's like I recall back in the day, man. You would be like a straight A student. You know what I'm saying? They label you corny. You're like a bookworm. You a nerd or some Urkel shit. But then you treat them like shit, blow their back out, and then talk to their best friend. They love you. You know what I'm saying? So here's the question, man, because we have a lot of young listeners out there. Young. But for the young, for my nephew that listens to this shit, who's 17, what advice do you have for a young dude out there that's not into that typical cool guy shit that leads to trouble? Like a motherfucker that that kind of is not into that, hood booger shit.
Don't change. Like, you know what I'm saying? I think sometimes, because when I used to date back in the day, because I always have been a person of principle, values. Like, I always was a respectable dude. That's how I was raised. So chicks used to be like, you too nice. But I never was a sucker. Like, I always was mindful of, like, you ain't gonna have me look like a sucker, but I'm gonna still treat you like a lady. But they thought because I treated them like a lady that they was gonna play me and I would be heartbroken. But that wasn't the case. But anyway, so don't change who you are. You know what I'm saying? Like, to try to conform, you'll catch them regardless. And just don't change, man. Stay who you are and trust in who you are, because if you try to change who you are, you'll lose yourself and then you'll look like a sucker in the long run, man. Like, just be confident in who you are, man. That's what I would say, man. And you'll find the right one, for real. I mean, I did. You know what I'm saying? And the chicks, you know what I'm saying? The chicks who I was too nice for. To them, I'm the most wanted baby father. But I'm like, save the drama. You know what I'm saying? Fall back, baby. Fall back.
Shout out to Nas.
Fall back.
Yeah. So since we quoting, storytellers, thug narrators, I'll quote Slick Rick. All right. He gave me all my dating advice and all my advice when it came to women. I got it from my uncles, my older brother, and Slick Rick. And Slick Rick said, treat them like a prostitute. Don't treat no girly well until you're sure to scoop. Because all they do is they hurt and trample, and listen up. Here is a fucking example. You know what I'm saying? So, little nephew, listen. Don't worry about them. All right, because once you get out of your small circumference, your small comfort zone, once you get out of Monmouth County, get out of Jersey, they all gonna love you. You know, because you got you got some of me in you. All right, so just keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. All right, but yeah, man, it's weird because it's like the chicks that used to play a motherfucker back in the day. You know, they like on baby dad number 3 or 4 now, man. It's
washed up.
Yeah, man.
So yeah, especially when you go to college, man. Wait for college, man. It's all love in college.
Yo,
That's another thing. College life, brother.
Yo, all they in college. Like when you ask where they at, like when you ask your boy, like yo, where they at? They in college.
Yeah,
whether
man,
it's community college, a private school, a public school, doesn't matter. That's where they are.
Don't worry, unless you just don't got no game, you know what I'm saying? But then again, like you and I, we got no game, just some chicks understand our story.
Yeah.
But just stay yourself and don't try to be something that you're not, because then you really gonna look like a sucker and really gonna be clown like, guess what this nigga did? Like, no, never go against your values, man, over chicks. And one rule, never, ever kick another man's back into another chick.
Yeah.
That's law.
Speaking of niggas kicking niggas backs in, shout out to Lil Boosie, all right? Because now you probably about to get your back kicked in again by Michael B. Jordan if you guys ever cross paths, all right? Because Lil Boosie, all right, probably the most toxic person on Black social media, has taken it upon himself to critique Michael B. Jordan's decision to date Lori Harvey. Now, here's the thing. I think Boosie has like 7 kids, 6 baby mamas. He openly admitted to buying oral sex from a prostitute for his underage son, who was like 13, 14 at the time. He almost got his shit split by Mike Tyson for his transphobic comments about Dwayne Wade's daughter. He got banned from social media, from Instagram, for asking him to put their pussy lips on IG.
Put your pussy up on live.
$4,000, you know. But and sometimes you he was also caping for like Bill Cosby and R. Kelly. Like, so overall, just so he
morally
is
questionable.
If this nigga was in the Marvel universe, he would be the toxic crusader. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's him. So for all you toxic motherfuckers, he is your messiah. He is the messiah of misogyny, Lil Boosie. So Lil Boosie is talking about Lori Harvey's body count because she dated some notable celebrities. You know, Diddy's son, Jamie Foxx, now Michael B. Jordan, Future, you know, a bunch of dudes with money. And here's the thing, man. Why you worried about the next man dick, bro? Like, yo, you, bro.
I think he got a plan for all these outlandish opinions. It seems like a lot of rappers who ain't popping no more is just trying to get in the podcasting space. And he has like such he's so opinionated that I think it's a matter of time before he try to monetize it. Like, because there's some people who really like are entertained by it or use it as validation for their opinion. And he's, again, just an ignorant Bama. Like I ain't heard Bama used in a minute, but he's like a Bama. Anybody that got a ball fade, you know what I'm saying? Like, you
shout out to the DMV. That's their word, Bama.
Yeah, like he from way deep south. He's not even from New Orleans. He's from Shreveport, like one of the parishes in the swamps of New Orleans. And he just has a old, like, you know, I think, you know, now one of the things he said, I think some of the things he do say about her is the perception, right? It's not the reality, right? The perception is for someone to be associated with so many high profile people in the industry, it just makes her look like she's more promiscuous than she probably actually is. She's not any more promiscuous than a typical woman. But, you know, the industry's so small that it just looked like a chick that's working in an office building, dating like somebody on like a 16-story office building, dating people on 6 floors.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
I mean,
so it looked like she a whore, but over the course of how long? That's not even a whore because men do that regularly. So it's a double standard, and it's unfair, but it's reality, and that do apply, right? Like, you know what I mean? On the smaller scale, 2 dudes would call a chick a hoe if she fuck with three motherfuckers in the same town. You know what I'm saying? And again, I don't agree with it.
That's community.
Yeah. I don't agree with it. I don't agree with it, but it's unfortunately the the order of things because we live in a patriarchal society still.
Shout out to the patriarchy. It ain't going nowhere. All right.
No time
So
soon.
no time soon. All right. So here's
Mhm.
the man. Listen. God, man. Like I had like a whole thought about like the whole double standard shit and you know how it doesn't apply and blah 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 blah. But listen, fuck all that, man. I'm not even trying to be like I'm not even trying to educate niggas right now, man. Listen, let these hoes hoe. All right, let these hoes hoe. Santa Claus said ho ho ho. Ho is for male or female. So listen, if you fuck 12 people, if you got 12 bodies in a calendar year, 12 bodies in a 12-month period, you are a hoe. All right. If you fuck 12 people in a year, you're a hoe. That's it.
Regardless.
If you fuck 11, you not a hoe. If you fuck 13, you a hoe. And it's male or female. Because listen, man. The same way that we want women to put a price on their pussy, put a value on their vagina, men gotta put $1 on their dick. You know what I'm saying? They gotta put a price on the penis, right? And so if you a woman like Lori Harvey, and let's say the motherfucking 6 guys you saw her with are the only 6 motherfuckers that you saw her with that year. It's only 6 bodies she got that year. Yo, she went to fucking she went to Iceland, she went to Mars, she went to like South Africa and shit. She traveling in the pandemic off of 6 dudes getting paid, raising her profile, you know, elevating her celebrity status and whatnot. And you fucking the same 6 niggas in town, worried about like, yo, or you a dude, you a dude, you one of these guys out here, one of these rappers that trade the same women around. Y'all trade the same, y'all go after the same woman. Y'all, as soon as y'all see Trey songs with a girl, you're like, yo, I gotta get her next. You know what I'm saying?
And let's look at the quote, right? Because even his logic doesn't make sense. He said, male bachelors get plenty of criticism, but it's not the same for women. We got to start giving the bachelors, the men who are running through beautiful women like this, the credit. Who not housing her, running through her. Exactly. Like we always gotten the credit. We always been celebrated for the amount of women we've been with. And women, you know what I mean? I just remember even reading a book in college called Slut about how a woman can be associated with one person and it not work out in their favor and he just kick her back in and she's labeled, you know what I'm saying? Or somebody she can diss somebody and she's labeled. So it's just like a thin line between a hoe and a housewife, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You can't turn a hoe into a housewife or a house husband. All right. Here's a hot take, and it's not even a hot take. I'm gonna tell you why Lil Boosie's mad. All right. And if I was Lil Boosie, I'd be upset too. So here's me empathize, you know, because I want to be able to understand the minds of these fucking whack jobs, right? So I'm trying to empathize with him. And if I'm Lil Boosie, I'm famous, I'm rich, I got land in fucking Louisiana, right? I'm out here smashing bitches. I see people out here passing around Lori Harvey, and I want a piece of Lori Harvey, right? And then I steal Michael B. Jordan. I can't get Lori Harvey no more. You know what I'm saying? Because now Lori Harvey gonna go to Jamie Foxx, and she gonna get passed around in that other circle of men that I'm not in. You know what I'm saying? Because her taste elevated. You know, and now it's like shit. I can't get Lori Harvey now, so I got to say some shit about her. You know, I gotta hate on the next man. It's like, yo, I know me and Michael B. Jordan and I are 2 different echelons, 2 different levels, and he has something that I want, and I'm gonna talk shit about it because I can't get it now. You know, because he's the same motherfucker that, you know, be on IG like harassing the shit out of Rihanna. Unlike what I do. This is courtship with me and you, Rihanna. So listen.
So what you do? What you do?
Explain the difference. This is courtship. I'm a gentleman. You know, I know she listens. Shout out to her, you know.
Happy belated birthday, Riri.
She doesn't age at all. I think Rihanna just had her company valued at $1 billion too. So shout out to Rihanna.
Yeah, Fenty, man. A lot of black businesses. But let's keep it in the line of relationships. Your boy Kodak, man.
Shout out to Kodak Black.
He came back home and took a 19-year-old woman from a woman.
Yo, Kodak Black is on the Gucci Man fast track. All right. He went to jail. Chubby and on drugs.
Okay.
Like Gucci.
Yeah.
Had a woman. that was kind of holding him down,
No.
even though he was talking to other bitches all the time, right? He had a secret woman, even though he was like trying to shoot his shot at like Sloane Stevens or some shit. I don't fucking know. But so he gets out of
JT,
jail.
trying to shoot at JT from City Girls.
No, he was with her before. He was with her before.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, she was with Uzi too. Shout out to her. But so fucking he gets out of jail, gets married. His proposal was a sign in the sky that said, "Might as well marry me." That is some hood booger shit right there. Listen, if that's the standard, might as well marry me, then yo. What's the Vegas odds on that working out? But he came out, slimmed down, seems to be focused, seems to have his spirituality in check. And he's back working. So he's still got other cases to worry about. So he's got to figure out that shit as well, man. But I'm glad to see him out of jail. Get a good woman to hold you down and
it's weird though. I think the thing that make him an intriguing artist is what makes him a crazy person. His emotions, right?
Mm-hmm.
He seems very impulsive, right? I mean, just with the charges he get, like with the shit he get in trouble for, it just seemed like someone that impulsive. But then he make like these very like emotional songs, like Boosie, I mean not Boosie, Kodak decent.
Yeah.
Like
yeah,
I really dig into his
rap.
albums. Yeah, but when he talk, he don't sound like he would make the songs he make. I'll be looking like, is this ignorant, dumbass mother? But anyway, the shit that's weird is like he just, that's why people young in relationships always tell him like, yo, live your life before you commit, because he took a 19-year-old woman from some dude and she done tatted his name on her face and he tatted his name on her neck. It's just impulsive, it's emotional, it's just prisoner of the moment, man.
That's love.
That's that young dumb
February.
shit.
Yeah, when you're young and dumb, you do shit like that. I was young. I got married young. You know what I'm saying?
How old was you?
I was like 23. I got married out of fear though, man, because I had done so much dirt. I was like, yo, I have to get married or I'm gonna die. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I did. I chilled out and then stayed. I did the whole marriage shit. Got divorced at 30, and then boop, more dirtbag shit. And I'm still in my whole phase. So women out there, if you get with me, you got to deal with that for, I don't know, 2 more years. But it's all good.
So but, Kodak, man,
Kodak,
get in the studio, man. Stay away from them chicks, man. Get in the studio.
Yeah, man. But yo. So I'm looking at this article, man. It's talking about social media's impact on relationships, man. I know, man, we've seen a lot of positive and negative. We see the whole hashtag goals shit where everybody is like, oh, Will and Jada, I want to be like them, Jay and Beyonce. And they're just, that they're putting these couples on a pedestal, without taking into account like their actual regular shit or what the goals in a healthy relationship are, man. So what's your take on the whole hashtag goals culture?
I think that's corny for one, right? Because social media is curated. You're only seeing what they want you to see. And I like this list. I wrote the list down, right? Effects of social media on relationships, because when you elevate these celebrity relationships into goal status, it can lead to number one. Social media can create unrealistic expectations, right? It can lead to jealousy, right? When unrealistic expectations and jealousy tie hand in hand, because you just be thinking you deserve what you see someone on social media getting, and that's unrealistic. It's not true to what your reality is or what whoever you with is capable of. And you need
they want a Birkin.
Yeah, absolutely. Birkin. Like,
listen, crazy, you can't get a Birkin if you don't have a W-2. If you don't have a W-2, you can't get a Birkin.
Yeah, that's a whole nother issue, right? Like that whole Birkin shit. That shit was crazy. Like, people offended when I'm looking like, yo, like those who take offense are a fool. I mean, those take offense when offense not intended are a fool. Those who take offense when offense is intended make you a bigger fool. So that was a whole other bunch of fools getting offended about some shit that didn't apply to them. But social media, man, it's all about the foundation of relationship. You have to establish a relationship on old school principles for it to last. You know what I'm saying? Have to be on friendship, trust. Like, I'm looking at this list right here. Let me run off the list. So number one, it says effects of social media on relationships. These are negative effects, of course, because they don't apply to everybody. Number one, social media can create unrealistic expectations. Number two, it can lead to jealousy. Number three, excessive social media use is linked to couples fighting more. Number four, social media makes daily life seem less interesting. Number five, it can distract from spending quality time with your partner. Number six, it can affect mental health. Yeah, I agree with that across the board right there. It can lead, number 7, it can lead to body image issues, but so can porn. And number 8, it can make us more narcissistic. I just think that you know, people that have terrible self-awareness are more susceptible to these follies of social media, man.
Yeah.
Terrible self-awareness.
Yeah, I think like that list runs down a bunch of real life situations that everybody has, been through. And you're a married man now. You haven't always been.
Right.
Has social media got you fucked up in a relationship?
Yeah, I ain't gonna front. It did at one point in time. It did. It did because I had like a jealous significant other who was like, they had my password. So I was having a conversation with someone that was innocent, but they was jealous, and that kind of got us like, it was an innocent conversation, but they was looking at the conversation in real time, and they was just thinking the wrong things, and it led to conflict. So if you got a jealous person in your relationship that you in a relationship with, like, social media gonna make them jealous, or reality gonna make them jealous. It don't even matter. They jealous.
Yeah.
So it just can make things worse. You just gotta know who you with, and you can't ignore the red flags. Red flags,
definitely.
man. Stop ignoring it. You know what I'm saying? People tend to ignore red flags early on, expecting to change somebody, man. But you have to slow down at the yellow flags and stop and bust a U-turn at the red ones.
Yeah, yeah, man. That's definitely clutch, man. Because fucking, I've had a situation where, I mean, I'm I'm a dirtbag, so of course I've gotten caught. Of course I've been in a relationship with somebody and they've gone into my social media and pulled up the conversations that I'm having with other women. Of course that has happened. Yes, I've been busted multiple times. That was all before I was 30 though. That was before I was 30. Before I was 30. When I turned 30, I had an epiphany. All right. And I said, yo, I gotta be honest with these women. And then I still was lying for a little bit, but that shit take time. It's not overnight, man.
You gotta mature. You gotta mature.
Yeah. But there's like, yo, I was in a situation recently, you know what I'm saying, where somebody I was dating went through my social media, man, and it all started off with me liking like one picture, you know what I'm saying, like me liking like one picture, and then it just went into them looking through every photo that I've liked.
Really?
And then an entire argument based on something else that wasn't even related to the original shit that they were upset about. It was the outcome. You know what I'm saying? It eventually ended a relationship. It ended a relationship. You know what I'm saying?
That's ridiculous. What you was liking random big booty chicks in pictures?
No, I don't even do that shit on social media. Yeah. That's what the burner account is for. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm not liking your fucking OnlyFans promo from my normal ass fucking Facebook or Instagram. No, I have multiple. I'm Kevin Durant with this shit. I have multiple burner accounts, so I can go through and look at your fucking IG story, so I can go through and like your fucking pictures and leave comments. You know, it's like some picture of some fucking Pakistani dude. You know what I'm saying? And I got like a translated fucking phrase in Turkish. And I'm just out there creeping. You know what I'm saying?
I think jealousy comes from when people are unrealistic about human nature, right?
Yeah.
Like you just assume when you with someone that all their human nature just cuts off. Like they don't see things that they're attracted to.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And they don't react to it. So if you like have these unrealistic expectations, then you're gonna be jealous. Like it just doesn't bother me if my wife says someone is handsome or if she like a picture. You know what I'm saying? I don't give a shit. Like I know who she coming home to. And at the end of the day, like, long as she don't work with that joker, I don't got a problem with it. You know what I'm saying? She work with him. If she work with him, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, she can't have the work husband?
Nah, yeah,
the work
husband.
Work
nah, I'm just playing. But nah, a lot of that stuff, you know what I'm saying? Like, and also, I tell my students and tell people, trust is like a grade. You start with 100 until you mess up that average. It comes down. So, you know what I mean? Start with trust. And you know what I'm saying, don't start with jealousy, because if you start with jealousy and you bring your baggage from previous relationships to your new relationship, it's doomed to fail, man.
Yeah.
And social media definitely would expedite that.
Yeah, I mean, one thing I've noticed, man, is like a lot of times when I'm having that first one-on-one interaction with somebody is I'll just put like everything out there at first. You know what I'm saying? So like the first date, we're not talking about, you know, small talk or Kanye and Kim's relationship. We're talking about why did your last relationship not work? You know, like what is your thoughts on kids? What's your relationship with your family? You know, what's your thoughts on XYZ, things like that? Because those shit, like all those conversations are going to happen 8 months to a year down the road. And we don't have that kind of time.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, why not just get your point of view right now? You know, while we're in the actual getting to know phase, because yo, if we going out to eat after a month, I like you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's gonna hurt me to have to dump you because you voted for Trump. I want to know that shit first date. You know what I'm saying? So that's it. I've never dated a Trump supporter, but
but like I said, with this list, it just seems like it's based off of unrealistic expectations. Like it can lead to body images. If you really just expecting your woman to have the bodies of these Instagram models, like what the fuck is wrong with you? Like you must live in Miami or some shit. And what else? It can distract you from spending quality. It can distract people from living quality time. But again, that's the immature and those who aren't self-aware. Like if someone tell you that and you can't do the knowledge, like, all right, I'm gonna chill out, then you're the problem.
Yeah.
So you gotta be honest with yourself, and you can't be someone that's above reproach. And that's a lot of the problems, man, with relationships. Jokers they want to win arguments rather than come to an understanding. And I always said that, like, I don't. If you have a disagreement or argument, it should be about resolving a problem, not about who won. You know what I'm saying? And that's what leads to these problems that social media brings to damaged relationships. And I can't wait to see the stats with the pandemic, right? Like, I think the mixture of this pandemic, isolation, relationships, and social media can probably lead to a lot of divorces or strengthening of relationships. So I'm interested to see who's going to do a study on that.
Yeah, man, that's what's up, man. And just in case you didn't hear that, that's a bar. I'm gonna play the hype man right now. He said you jokers are more concerned with winning arguments rather than resolving them. Yeah. So in case you don't understand that, understand it, motherfucker. I can't explain that shit to you more simpler, man. I try to give you a little pregnant pause so the shit can like sink in, because y'all need to hear that shit, man. You know, you got to come to an understanding. A relationship, it's a lot of compromise, but it's together. You know, it's togetherness. Absolutely. You know, so shout out to all my future exes. All right, I love all of y'all. I love all of y'all. You know, and I'm gonna take something from you and keep it. But speaking of relationships, my man Donald Glover has started a new relationship with fucking Amazon, bro, and it hurts me because now that means we're never going to get the rest of Atlanta.
Season 3, right? Damn.
Yeah, like because they're saying season 3 and season 4 are going to be shot back to back whenever that does happen. But it's already been like over a year and a half, I think, so far.
Yeah.
But Donald Glover signed a multi-year 8-figure deal with Amazon, and the first project that he's going to work on is a reboot of Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie, their film Mr. and Mrs. Smith. So it's going to be a TV show, a series, or a movie. First off, congratulations to Donald Glover. I'm a huge fan. All right.
Yeah.
Let me take my glasses off so you can see this, because I know you're watching. All right. I respect you. I respect your craft. All right. I'm happy you signed this deal. I'm sure you're going to make a lot of great content for Amazon. But yo, fuck you. You know what I'm saying? Donald Glover, fuck you. All right. Fuck you. Because I was invested in the 2 fucking seasons of Atlanta, and now it's a fucking year in between. I'm like, yo, what the fuck happened? What happened to Earn, bro?
What happened to Paperboy?
You know like, what happened to Paperboy? Like, what happened to Tracy?
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I love Zazie beats, man. Zazie,
that motherfucker was like, you.
Yeah,
yo,
like
I like the show, and now it's going to be 2 years, 3 years in between fucking seasons if we get the season. You know,
and
it's like yo, it's like Donald Glover, man.
It ain't just his fault, though.
It is his fault.
It ain't all his fault because all the cast was popping. Like all the
he out there making fucking Star Wars and shit and doing big ass movies. Listen,
Zazie doing
Deadpool.
Deadpool. You know what I'm saying? Paperboy did a couple joints. My man did some man that just did Judas and the Black Messiah. He did a couple joints, like they popping as a cast. But yo, the crazy part about the show, like the first season was on some Warner Brothers fucking Bugs Bunny shit. Like every episode was just unique and in its own space. Like it wasn't a cohesive story. The season 2 had a cohesive story.
Yeah,
it was so dope.
Yeah,
it really got us into it. I mean, the writing was brilliant. Like they did a great job capturing, to me, that and Insecure does a great job of capturing the dynamicness, if that's a word, of the Black experience, right? We not a monolith, right? And I think they did a great job of doing that. And for them to not to bring it back, man, and all this long time, it's like they fucking up, man.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. I definitely was loving it. I gotta go back and watch season 1 again, man, because I love when he was in jail and Joker's was country as hell. Like that, yo, that was a good ass show, yo. If you ain't on Atlanta, watch that show, yo.
I mean the Teddy Perkins episode, man. That episode was fucking nuts.
That was weird. I watched that like, what the fuck is this?
Yo, the one with the barber.
Yeah,
the fucking barber just kept taking them places. Yo, that's some real shit, man. So shout out to Donald Glover. Congratulations. I'm super happy for you. I just thought of something, man. I just thought of something, you know, and God, I don't know how I missed it, man. Listen, this Lori Harvey shit is much bigger than we actually think. All right. And no, I'm trying to be serious. This is like
breaking news.
This is like the part where, you know, and this is some real shit, man. Has anybody checked on Meek Mill? And the reason why I say that is because Meek Mill specifically asked. He said, "All I want is Lori Harvey." He said it in a song, and he's the only one that has not had her. Meek Mill is the real victim in this story.
He was throwing shots at her. He was like, really like.
He had to be around Trey Songz. He had to be around Diddy. He had to be around Diddy's son. He had to be around Future. You know, like you got to see everybody, all right, have the woman that you want. And then just when you think it's your shot, motherfucking a dude that got shot in season 2 of The Wire comes out and scoops your girl. You know what I'm saying?
Damn, Wallace. Rest in peace, Wallace.
Yeah, man. Rest in peace, Wallace and Killmonger.
Yeah, speaking of that, man, Meek, the losses continue to pile up.
Yo, shout out to Meek Mill. He's a fucking idiot.
Yo, Meek, man, yo, he just, I don't know, man. He now like the social media punching bag. Like in real life, he official, he cool, but on social media,
is he? I don't know him personally. I can't vouch for him. All I see is goofy shit. Shit. Shout out to my guy Safari. All I see is goofy shit from fucking
the king of goofy. Yeah.
The king of goofy shit.
The king of goofy shit. But like ever since, you're right. Ever since Meek had those high waters on that picture, that was like low, like it was couture high waters that he thought he was gonna get love off.
Soon as Meek got off parole, bro, he lost his fucking mind. He just started bugging out because now you have Meek say that. It was a great album. You had Meek say the line about Kobe Bryant in his song, and a lot of people are up in arms about that. Me personally, I'm like, look, man, this shit is hip hop. This shit is rap.
It's hip hop.
You're gonna say shit like that. However, if you truly love Kobe, you would never say anything like that. All right. And I'm like, the only person's opinion that matters is Vanessa Bryant's, and unless she says something,
he did.
I don't have anything to say. And yes, she did say something. She said it was very, very offensive and disrespectful. And if you cared about Kobe and Gigi, you would never say something like that. I'm paraphrasing.
He's stunning on them too, though. What she said, "I'm not familiar with your music." Damn.
Yes.
I thought that was like slick.
I mean, where would she be at when she's like, "Hold up, wait a minute, y'all thought I was fit"? Like, I don't see that in her circles. You know what I'm saying? Like, shout out to Vanessa Bryant. You know, rest in peace, Kobe and Gigi. Tragic, super tragic. And listen,
apologize, man.
No, you shouldn't apologize. He never apologized. He just doubled down on the dumb shit that he said.
No, he said he spoke to her privately. That's a recent tweet.
He made that shit, man. Niggas be the young boys out here. They say cap. This nigga capping. This motherfucker is lying. He ain't speak to nobody. Because if he, bro, listen. Why would you say the wasn't even a good bar? You know what I'm saying? Wasn't even a good bar. Like if it was like something about being like dedicated to his daughter or something like that, it'd be cool. But the bar was like about something about hoes, and then
if I get with the chopper, it's gonna be another Kobe.
Like, it's like, yo, but that like because I'm just like, yo, bro, if you're an artist, everybody's going to hear this. So I'll be like, okay, what would Kobe's wife think about this bar? I don't think she'd like it. Okay, let me not fucking say it. I'm just like, who in the room was like, yo, that shit is hard. That shit is like, yo, that like nobody, the engineer, the producer, the label, nobody said, yo, like this shit might not be, you know, kind of cool.
And Meek like an A-list rapper, so he definitely should have knew better because he's not some obscure rapper who could say some shit and nobody, it doesn't go beyond like a particular group of a culture, a subculture. You know what I'm saying? Some people like Pooh Shiesty coming up right now, but Pooh Shiesty's still on the underground, like kind of bubbling where he can say some shit now that wouldn't be a big deal. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But fast forward, when same thing like with the Baby and Lil Baby. Like last year, they could say some shit like that. Now they can't. You know what I'm saying? Lil Durk almost to the point where he can't say shit like that. So again, Meek is beyond that. So he definitely he shouldn't have said that. But then again, I'm conflicted too, because people say all type of shit. People say all type of wild shit like about Kennedy head off, slump. What he said, slump, like Kennedy stabbed with your memory out. Jay-Z said that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like all type of wild shit.
That didn't happen last year. That was like what, 60 years ago, or probably 50 at the time it happened. And Jackie O was like dead and shit. So it's not like she's listened to the album. You know what I mean? But it's like, yo, you're gonna be in those circles. So you're gonna say this lyric and you're gonna be at a Laker game and see Kobe's wife, and then be like, oh shit. And you got that oh shit moment, like, yo, I fucked up, you know? And man, listen, when you're an artist, you got to be aware of your platform. You got to be aware of your reach, you know? So the same way that Rick Ross got criticized for talking about putting date rape drugs in women's champagne.
She didn't even know it.
She didn't even know it. You know, the same way they criticized Cardi B for that, the same way they go after Meek Mill for saying some shit insensitive about somebody that the culture cares about, you know, dying. And it wasn't even like a good bar. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, but yeah, shout out to Meek Mill, still taking L's in 2021. All right. But speaking of people affiliated with Meek Mill, let's talk about the blueprint himself, Jay-Z. All right. And first off, let me give a shout out to Jay-Z. All right, because yo, listen, I've purchased most of Jay-Z's products, right? I've purchased most of Jay-Z's products. I have not had his champagne, and the reason not why is because the price point is too fucking much. And I'm a champagne drinker. When I go to the club, I'm a bottle popper, all that bullshit. But it's like, yo, a bottle of Ace of Spade, or I can get 2 bottles of Dom Perignon. I'm gonna get 2 bottles of that's or 4 bottles of Mo. I'm gonna get 4 bottles of Mo. It's very fucking simple math. I'm just trying to get drunk. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, that's the thing. And so, but I know people that drink the champagne, they say it's great. He just got 50% of his company bought out by LVMH. They are the luxury good giant.
Hennessy,
Hennessy, like Moet, Louis Vuitton. They're joining forces in the champagne business. All right, and this is fucking huge because they're going to use their distribution platform to put his shit in more markets. And you already had just hip hop and sports and the urban culture already just doing the advertising for him. Like, when do you see a fucking commercial for his champagne? When do you see a print ad for his champagne? I have not seen the shit. I have not seen a pop-up on my computer. All right. I think his shit may be the Rolls Royce of champagne because I do see Moet commercials. I do see print ads for Cristal. I have not seen anything for what is like Armand de Brisnac, Ace of Spade. I've never seen an advertisement for it.
It's crazy that you bring this up, man. You bring this up because I was doing a deep dive into like when he first acquired it in 2014 after the marketing or some executive from Cristal made a statement about hip hop that Jay-Z interpreted as to be like, you know, covertly racist.
And it wasn't.
Yeah. Like he just interpreted
Jay-Z
it to
smart.
Be that.
He said, yo, he racist.
Like that was a mean power move, and he just bet on his influence on the culture, and it just reminded me of when he just made the jerseys like almost obsolete within the hip hop fashion culture. Like when Black Album came out, like I don't wear jerseys, I'm 30 plus. Joker wasn't even 30 talking about, you know what I mean, button up. Joker wearing the long ass striped ugly ass button ups. I ain't gonna front. I had one in the stash, and I got rid of my throwbacks. And I'm mad that I got rid of them throwbacks too, because them throwbacks would have been popping to this day. I still think jerseys is fly, but that's what you do though. People don't realize you get a company, you get the value up, and you sell it completely or a nice portion of it and flip that. Take it somewhere else, man. Puffy did that with Sean John.
Yeah,
He's suing Sean John, by the way.
yeah,
But
he's
like,
suing
yo,
them. He's suing them for false advertising.
yeah,
He's suing them for like
like,
using the quote from him in the advertising campaign.
yeah.
That's some fly shit when you can sue your own company after you sold it. You know what I'm
Word.
saying? Like,
yo, I ain't affiliated with that no more. Don't get it twisted. Yo, that's crazy. Like what he doing. And I just get, it just annoys me when people like make disparaging comments about what he do and what he don't do. It just just confirms people bias. Like no matter what he do, you have something to say, and
yeah.
and whatever. Like even if he do something positive, you're gonna like try to diminish it. I just think that is dope overall, man. And like people saying, like I think it need to be applauded, man, for real.
Yeah, because I mean, besides the whole, Jay-Z's origin story of him being a tough criminal from the mean streets of Marcy Projects and flipping kilos of cocaine down in Virginia, take that aside, right? And you just say, okay, him as an artist and his come up and his rise, right? That's an incredible story, right? That's like some Hollywood shit. And then you add the from age 26 to age 13, you add that in there, bro. That's like fucking Lord of the Rings type shit. Like that's like some, like, I think like every generation you like back in the day, like in 1920s, you had like Andrew Carnegie, guys like that, Henry Ford. You know what I'm saying? Like Jay-Z is going to go down in history as one of those guys. Absolutely. Like one of those guys who fucking came from nothing. Jay-Z is a real life version of the fucking Great Gatsby, except it actually worked out in the end. You know what I'm saying? You take all this shady, underhanded shit that he had to do for however long he had to do it, and you take those principles and morals and ethics and you apply them to the business world, and you see how that shit the trajectory just fucking, like there's no ceiling. Like there's no, like, what's next? Like what the fuck? Because everybody's had an alcohol. You know what I'm saying? Like,
everybody.
Because Diddy has Ciroc, and Ciroc is doing fucking phenomenal. And Diddy has De Leon, and De Leon is okay. But
everybody, certain people got alcohol. You're right. That's like a thing now. Everybody got alcohol.
Jay-Z has Douce and fucking goddamn his champagne, and the champagne just got bought half out. And Douce is doing incredible because we love brown liquor. That's my cognac of choice. But you got other guys that haven't been successful. You had Cameron has Scissor, Little Flip had Lucky Night. I mean, Lil Wayne has like Bum Brew or some shit. Master P has like you have people that have had
E40 got wine. Snoop got wine. Everybody got something.
Everybody has like some. 50 had the sports drink. That was the smartest guy out of all of them. But you seen rappers try to market these brands or market these items, and I think the difference between Jay-Z, what he did, and Diddy, what they did, and everybody else, is that they put their shit at a price point where everybody didn't have access to it.
Yeah,
because it was
he labels it luxury brand.
Yeah, and they made it like sneakers. It was like y'all could drink vodka or you could drink Ciroc. Like y'all could drink fucking some cognac. Y'all could drink some brown liquor or you could drink fucking Douce. You know what I'm saying? And that shit makes a difference. Like if I go to a bar and they don't have it, I'm not drinking brown liquor. It's straight to tequila. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, like shout out to Jay-Z, man. He's like fucking Tony Stark. You know, like you're gonna see him in a fucking robot suit in like 5 years. You know what I'm saying?
And we'll make it so like he doing the cannabis business now. Like Tidal is still, Tidal. I'm curious about how that's gonna play out. Like, will Tidal get? I think
they're gonna get bought out.
Yeah, I was thinking that. Like,
Spotify is going to buy Tidal out. They're both two companies from Europe, and Spotify just had a big ass announcement, a big ass press conference this week about they have a hi-fi option now, and they have a bunch of other options plus a bunch of podcasts that Barack Obama has a president podcast now. So you got Barack and fucking Michelle on. Listen. And neither one of them will be number one of a Joe Budden, and that's all because of Joe Budden. God damn it! You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Spotify was ass.
So So I think Tidal is definitely gonna get bought out eventually. Yeah, I'm curious to see what this weed brand gonna do, because a lot of rappers got weed brands also. But the difference between Jay and them other rappers is
his shit is pre-rolled, and that's what I want. That's what I want. I want pre-rolls.
I wasn't even gonna talk about that. I was talking about when he drop a bar, when he drop a verse, like his shit still be like cutting through.
Yeah.
Like a lot of rappers be trying to rap in their old age and they shit just not popping no more. Like he's still like,
Well, because he
like,
raps
his
he
pen's
raps
still
his
crazy.
age. He raps his age though. Like he's not out. He's talking about shit that we can relate to, and that was one of my biggest criticisms. That's why I was a Nas fan over Jay-Z, because Nas was rapping about shit that I could relate to when I was younger. I was a young broke nigga, you know what I'm saying, selling loose cigarettes, bro. Like I could relate to dusty ass Nas. I couldn't relate to Jay-Z talking about having money, but then when I got some money, I'm like, Nas who? I'm like 12 a.m. and then I'm up in the club. I'm out here with the Armadale vodka and shit. You know what I'm saying? With the fucking Rockaway jeans on. You know what I mean? Chilling. Like I'm out here because I can relate to that shit. But now as I'm older, Jay-Z, he matured with his audience. Unlike a rapper like Busta Rhymes, right? Like so Jay-Z can make an album like 444 that is literally an album about being an old man and going through shit. And it's a classic album, dope album, critically acclaimed, commercially successful. And these other rappers are still trying to make the same shit they made 10 years ago. Hove, he matured and his product matured, and that's the other key, right? Is everybody, they try to market these products to a younger demographic. You know what I'm saying? Like, because Jim Jones has a weed, saucy extracts. And I'm looking at the packaging and the market, and I'm like, that's marketed to like 16-year-olds. I'm looking at Jay-Z shit, Monogram. It comes in a fucking case kind of like this, right? And you open the shit up, and you got pre-rolls in it. Shout out to medical marijuana. And you got pre-rolls in it, right? And then you already know this. All you got to do, bro, you did the work for me.
Fire it up.
You know how much of a fucking hassle it is to roll some weed up in a location that you're not like secure in, like anywhere, not your house, like the beach or the movie theaters. It's
Jersey is now secure, baby.
Shout out to Phil Murphy. They just legalized motherfucking marijuana. Shout out to my dad.
Recreationally.
You know like there's two things I know my dad was waiting for. One of them was the Avengers movies and the legalization of marijuana in New Jersey. So now I can go home with my pop and we're gonna smoke hella weed. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, we'll shoot some video. You know what I'm saying?
As of yesterday. Right. So yeah, man. Whole blazing trails, man. And he definitely laying the blueprint and staying unapologetically black in himself in hip hop. Like he's not conforming to this construct of what business should look like and talk like, dress like, and I think that's also powerful. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's dope, man. That's dope. But speaking of out of touch old rappers living in their past, Eve, the rapper Eve, not that she's out of touch and old, but she just got a brand new show on ABC. They shot a pilot called Queens, and Queens is about an estranged and out of touch four women in their 40s who reunite for a chance to recapture their fame and regain their swagger that they had as the Nasty Bitches. Their 90s group that made them legends. That's the name of the group, the Nasty Bitches. That's on network TV. That's on ABC. Yo, shout out to ABC. You know what I'm saying? Because that shit stands for Africans, Blacks, and Colors. Because that's who's going to be watching now. All right? I love Eve. All right? Anything she does, I'm going to watch because she went from a stripper in Philly to married to some like billionaire dude who voted for Trump. So shout out to Eve. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad to see her back on TV.
Yo, people capitalizing in on this wokeness of these corporations. And honestly, Eve had a pretty successful show on UPN back in the day. You know what I'm saying? People, it was like respected in our culture. It sounded like she's trying to do like another Entourage, like a girl Entourage.
Yeah, but it's just like they're 40 years old, washed up, trying to like, and I'm just like,
interesting show. They should put it on Netflix though. Put that on Netflix.
Yeah, because I need that shit to be R-rated. I need to be R-rated. So the show could work. It just has to be R-rated. It just has to be R-rated.
I just don't see how shows is going to network television anymore. I think it's over for those shows being successful.
Yo, I was just thinking the other day, like I still like the fact that some content we get is episodic and periodic. Because I'm like, if I can just sit and binge some shit, I lose appreciation for the story. You know, and like the last two topics we were gonna have, fuck them. Yo, WandaVision, shit is lit. You know what I'm saying? Yo, what the fuck is going on? What the fuck is yo, bro?
Welcome.
What the fuck is going on? What the fuck? Yeah, like if they put this content out all at once, it would not hit the same. And that was the problem with the Netflix shows, that the shit was good, but you watched it all in one sitting. You know, so you couldn't build moments up. And this shit is all about
conversations all week.
These moments are getting built up, bro. Like, yo, the whole shit, bro. Motherfucking Monica Rambeau got her fucking powers and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yep, Photon, I think her name is. You know,
Agatha Harkness. So now, see, here's where the nerd comes out.
They tapped into the nostalgia. Oh man, they did everything.
If you're not a nerd, if you don't get this comic book life, this is the part of the podcast that you need to turn off. This shit ain't for you. We already covered politics. We covered black culture. Listen, now it's time for that nerd shit. All right,
nerds tune the fuck
in. Coon the fuck in. All right. So listen, coon in now.
Coon in. Freudian slip. No, go ahead.
Shout out to Tim Scott. Tim Scott and Kanye.
And that guy and the one from Utah. The other coon from Utah. Anyway, go ahead. Yeah.
No, actually, let me tell you, I don't. We shouldn't use that kind of language.
Yeah, you're right.
I have a friend that fucking hates when I say that shit, and I know. I'm gonna bleep that out. I'm gonna bleep that out. I'm not bleeping that shit.
You're right. I don't like throwing that around either, but but whatever. Anyway.
And so, yo, bro. And so, listen. So now, I didn't think that Mephisto was gonna be the villain in WandaVision. All right, but now I 100% believe Mephisto is going to be the main villain. Your thoughts?
I think so too. Right. It's just opening up that other layer, like, and with them teasing Doctor Strange, and you know they went to space, now they're about to go other dimensions. They about to start going to dark forces. So it's only right that they bring Mephisto into this, and it's just, Marvel was just expanding their universe, and doing it in such a brilliant way. You know what I'm saying? Where, like you said, instead of like doing it weekly, just. It feeds the recap shows. It just keeps the conversation going. It builds the momentum from week to week. You know what I'm saying? And it makes it an event. Like, people still, at the end of the day, love appointment television, especially if it's worth your appointment. You know what I'm saying? And we looking to see where Marvel's going to go with the next big villain. Like they gradually built up the Thanos. Like, they gave little breadcrumbs of who it was going to be Thanos. So people like, nah, it's not going to be Thanos. And it's great because you don't know if it's going to be Mephisto or not. Like,
I mean, because they're saying it could be Mephisto, it could be Dormammu again. Like, it's a bunch of motherfuckers who it could be. But
what's the black dude, Kane the Conqueror? Like, a whole bunch of different stuff.
Yeah, and so the thing is that we do know that Agatha Harkness at one point was associated with Mephisto. We do know that Agatha Harkness is a witch. We do know that she has the kids. And if you read the comics, then you do know that the fucking kids in all the multiverse that they had, the kids were never real. You know what I'm saying? And when they were real, they were created from Mephisto's soul. They were created from pieces of Mephisto's soul.
And selling her soul to the devil.
Yeah. And so that's what I'm thinking, is that he gave her a fucking deal. You know what I'm saying? And then
to get out the hex with them.
Yeah.
Ooh, this shit is amazing, bro. And I'm almost it's crazy. Like, when something is so good, you're afraid that the next thing gonna fuck it up. Like, I'm afraid for what Winter Soldier and what's name gonna do. I'm like, please don't fuck up this momentum.
I mean, they can't. They can't, man. Like, I've looked at like some of the cast, and I'm like, oh, it's gonna be okay. And that's like one of the main things that's kind of like giving me hope, is that I look at the cast of Marvel projects, and I'm like, okay, those are gonna be like, I know why those were not cast because the people were stars. Like, those were cast because those people fit those roles. I look at DC products, and it's like, they're just trying to put celebrities in here, man. They're just trying to put the biggest person they can possible. You know what I'm saying? But man, because like looking at the fucking the Inhumans project, and then even like the Runaways project, like that kind of got lost in the shuffle because it came out during the pandemic, but it was actually a good movie. It was aimed more towards the younger demographic, but I watched it out in the airplane, like going across the country and shit. It was pretty good.
I watched a little bit of it. You talking about Arya Stark and them?
Yeah.
Okay, I watched a little bit of that.
Yeah, it wasn't that bad.
Yeah, they was all like in the
Oh,
Mad
no, it was
House
the
and
New
shit like
Mutants.
that.
There was the New Mutants. That's what it was. The
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Runaways
I'm
was the
talking about.
TV show.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But yeah, like
Marvel,
no,
man.
the episodic shit, man, like that, because it's like I wasn't on the bro. I was a skeptic. I was like, I this is the first show that I've watched on Disney Plus. Like I use Disney Plus to watch old X-Men cartoons. That's it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And
they got the whole run on there.
yeah, and now it's like and I was gonna wait until Winter Soldier and that shit, and then you know, everybody kept talking about WandaVision, and I had time to catch up. So now it's like now I get to be included in that moment with you guys, and that's what the episodic shit does. It's like, you know, when you just throw everything all that at once, it's like if I don't get caught up on the hype as soon as it comes out, then I get lost in I can't join the movement, and we all want to be part of something big. So when it comes to that big payoff, we all get to celebrate. That's why people cheer for sports. And when you put this episodic shit out, it's like, yo, I can get on a train after it's already had momentum and you already tried it out like a vaccine. Y'all got it. Y'all ain't die. Now I'll fuck with it. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, and then and it's not. I'll get on when it has momentum and then ride that shit out. And that was me. I'm a late bandwagon jumper, and now I'm on the fucking train. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, WandaVision is the shit. Everything else looks like it's gonna be dope. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, man, Disney is on a Netflix heels with all the shit that is announced that is coming out, like the rollout. Because you was looking like early on, I was looking like, I don't know, Netflix got this shit on the chokehold. But it's looking like with the lineup, all the different like because Mandalorian was dope as well. I love Mandalorian. They're talking about doing different Star Wars shows. Like they got a lot of cool shit.
Oh man, how do you feel about your girl Gina Carano getting fired, man?
Man, I don't know, man. I liked her character. I loved her character on The Mandalorian. I was a little disappointed, man. She's someone I thought should have a fatter ass than she actually had. But anyway,
I mean, they were talking about giving her a spinoff. You know,
yeah, exactly. Like I liked her character. She played that tough girl role really good in the show. She's believable because she was an MMA fighter. But you know, that's the that's the woke politics, man. Because
they can give her a spinoff to Sasha Banks.
Sasha Banks. Who's Sasha?
Sasha Banks was in The Mandalorian too. She was a black girl.
Was she one of the ones that had the helmet on and all that?
She came in towards the end of the season. I didn't watch it. I happened to follow a little bit of wrestling. So
okay, I have to check. I have to check on who that is exactly. But yeah, I feel bad, man, because her character was definitely someone that added to the story and pushed the narrative forward. And
she was a habitual line stepper, man.
Yeah, she was. She was a big loss, you know what I'm saying? But you gotta play the role when you're in Hollywood, man. And she got picked up by some like fringe conservative.
She got picked up by friend of the show, David Shapiro. I mean, my bad, Ben Shapiro. Friend of the show, Ben Shapiro.
Friend of the show.
David Shapiro's a fucking lawyer. Ben Shapiro in the Daily Wire, and she signed on to do a movie with them as well. I don't know what the fuck it's going to be about, but I just watched the interview with Ben Shapiro and Gina Carano because I wanted to, like, I am a fan of mixed martial arts. I want to understand why Gina Carano kept going down the road that she was going down, because previously before this, she never had any kind of political leanings. You didn't know what the fuck she thought, right? Because she never like, she was a very reserved person. And in this interview, dude, in this interview, she said she didn't start following politics until 2020. And she said the first shit that she did, she read a book by Ben Shapiro. You know what I'm saying? And she said that is what kind of like, so she's our age, and this election was the first time she ever voted. So she's someone that had she never voted, no kind of political leanings, and then she gets radicalized off of social media because she said, this is what I was seeing on my feed and my timeline. And she was like, and she was retweeting shit, but not knowing, like, she's retweeting far right shit, but not knowing the origin of it. So it's only so many times you can play ignorant, because in the interview, they got her media training. She had a publicist, you know, so it wasn't like she's just out there no, she has resources available to her to keep her from doing the same dumb shit. But no, they tried to compare her to her co-star. Because he made a comment about
that's locked up in cages, right? That Mexican border thing.
Yes, because he compared the kids getting locked up in cages, getting compared to Jews getting locked up in concentration camps. That's a way closer comparison, but still a comparison that shouldn't be made. It's like, unless they're getting killed and gassed, unless it's genocide, don't compare it to genocide. Listen, all you got to do is say, hey, it's like the Japanese internment camps. You know what I'm saying? Or if you want to compare how Trump supporters are being treated now, just say it's like McCarthyism back during the Red Scare. That's all you got to say. Nigga, I'm not a reporter. I don't work in the media. I'm not a celebrity. And we just figured out how to say this shit, how to communicate the urgency or the magnitude of certain shit. But it's like, yo, these people don't fucking think, nor do they care. And with her, you know, she was like, she just voted for the first time. She just got into politics, and all she saw was far right shit, and that's the direction she went. And her story is a very common one. You know what I'm saying? And that's what people got to understand, is that a lot of folks didn't get into politics until 2016. You know what I'm saying? And they don't know what the fuck they're believing in or what they're supporting or whatever, but they just want to get caught the same way we want you guys to get caught up in WandaVision. That's how they got caught up in Trumpism. You know what I'm saying? And they just rolled that thing out. But the season's over, bro. You know what I'm saying? The season's over. But that's the thing, man. So, yeah, but that's my take on it, man. And you got various people saying, you know, stuff about what she said. At the end of the day, you said what you said. You had the opportunity to apologize. You kind of didn't. And you signed on with Ben Shapiro, and he's Jewish, so he's cool. You know what I'm saying? He's cool, friend of the show. You know, shout out to Ben Shapiro. I don't like Ben Shapiro. Fuck Ben Shapiro. All right. And
I don't know much about him, but you might maybe look him up now.
Yeah, look up Ben Shapiro and his comments on Trayvon Martin. That is why there will always be malice in my heart for Ben Shapiro. Certain people are going to say things that I'll never like. I don't gotta forgive you. It's just like you'll never be cool with me. Like, and if I see you, it'll be on site. Just like Trump with the Central Park 5, Ben Shapiro and his comments about Trayvon Martin. Same thing with Kanye West and his comments on slavery. You know what I'm saying? That's what's up. Also, shout out to Kim K, because Kim K is a better ally to the black community than Kanye is a black person. That is not a hot take. That is a statement of fact. All right. That is it. Fuck, fuck Kanye, man. Unless you want to sponsor the podcast, and I'll put some fucking Yeezy foam runners on. That's what's up, man. But also, passing of the torch, we had Naomi Osaka versus Serena Williams, and Naomi Osaka beat that ass in straight sets.
Beat that ass. Straight sets.
It looked easy, and everybody, I'm not gonna say everybody, the fucking goddamn bleeding heart fucking snowflake liberals out here trying to compare Serena Williams to the fucking GOAT Tom Brady. All right, you trying to compare her to Tom Brady, and she got beat. She got beat by a child. All right, that's why you don't compare tennis. All right, you will never see a teenager beat fucking Pete Sampras or Andre Agassi or fucking Rafael Nadal or fucking Djokovic. No, they will not be beat by a teenager. But teenage girls routinely come in and dominate in tennis. And what you're seeing now is Naomi Osaka, who's phenomenal, who's beating the dog shit out of Serena Williams. The second time she's got dominated by her in a fucking major tournament. And it doesn't look like it's going to change.
But, right? you know, don't sneeze at Osaka, though. Like, it's a 4th Grand Slam. Like, she's been the darling of the tennis world and pop culture.
She's a beast.
Because she go with my man YBN, because he go with her actually.
He dropped the YBN. It's just Corday now. Listen, he knows how to. He's marketing himself, not the YBN shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he's smart. But she's actually taking on this popularity, and she's doing pretty good with it. Like, I was
like
worried,
the highest paid female athlete right now.
I was worried about Sloane Stephens, like, you know what I mean, someone that got.
She's a beast too. Yeah, she was a beast
but
too.
She's been inconsistent though. Osaka been consistent.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean? We'll see, man. But you're right, though. That's the only sport that young people can come in and dominate adults and vets.
Yeah. They want to compare Serena to Tom Brady or LeBron, and she's not even a GOAT in her own sport.
Well, she's close to it, but because she's been around.
Oh, yeah, she's close.
Relevant for a long time.
Serena's a legend, man. But she's the GOAT. She'll be the GOAT in women's tennis, right? She'll retire as the GOAT because she'll win more majors. That's
you think so?
Hell yeah. She's got at least 4 more in her. She's got 4 majors in her. You know what I'm saying? Because I think she's like 38 or 39. So she's got 2 seasons. She's got 2 seasons. And she'll win 4 majors and then retires the GOAT. But yeah, man, it's like everybody has their time, man, their season. And this is why you got to respect Floyd, because Floyd knew when to get the fuck out of boxing, right? And this is why, you know, goddamn, man, like I kind of while Jordan had the right idea when he retired the second time, but then he kind of came back and fucked it all up. But
Fucked his
yeah, man,
legacy up.
that's why you got to retire on top, man, because now all we see is her is like her downfall and like in her fall from grace. And it's like if she retired after that Wimbledon or after she won that major when she was pregnant, bro. Storybook ending right there.
Storybook.
You won the last
Off into
tournament.
the sunset.
You had your daughter, and then bam, that's it. But it's like, yo, what has been? Because once you come back, you back. So we don't want to hear nothing about you having a baby. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, I had a hernia. What? You know what I'm saying? So that's my thing, man. But shout out to Naomi Osaka. Shout out to Corday. Yeah. Oh yeah, man. Listen, man. Let me tell you, man. Listen, black people. I love you guys. But they were really trying to not accept Naomi Osaka, saying, because she plays for Japan, saying that she's not black. You know what I'm saying?
Man, she down for the cause.
Super down for the cause. Super down for the cause.
And me and you could definitely appreciate her because she's Haitian, half Haitian.
Hell yeah, man.
You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the Zoes, man. She rep that, man. So and she be having like she's Breonna Taylor, like she really rep the cause on large platforms. So I don't know, man.
Yeah, her and Corday did a donation to Texas as well. They've been doing they've been involved. I hate talking about rappers, but he's done like a really nice job of being that next guy after J. Cole. That was supposed to be Chance. It was supposed to be Chance, right? And Chance was I'm the nice guy. I'm that friendly rapper after like Drake and J. Cole. But now you got Corday, who's a dope ass lyricist, who is on par lyrically. Like nobody ever said Chance was like a great rapper, like a great lyricist. He made some dope songs, right? But he wasn't like nigga was like, yo, Chance got bars. No, if you put Pusha T and Corday on the same track, which they have a track on Corday's album. Corday kind of got him. I got him. Corday got him, right? And so it's like, yo, he can rap. He's out here doing the good shit. Got him a nice, good girl. Doesn't do shit in the media. Dropped the YBN from his name and shit, man. Like, I think you're going to see him have the same kind of trajectory as Kendrick. You know what I'm saying? Like, especially that he's aligned himself with Dre, and he's got a celebrity girlfriend already, and not just like any celebrity. Fucking Naomi Osaka, the highest paid female athlete, #1 ranked women's tennis player. That's like, bro, remember when we were like kids and shit, and like Kobe came in the league, and when he took Brandy to the prom, and it was like, yo, before Jay and Beyonce was Kobe and Brandy. Yeah, it's like, yo, that's like some David Beckham fucking Spice Girl shit. Victoria Beckham. You know what I'm saying? Like, and so shout out to Corday, man. Light skin love, man.
Word. Man, we covered a lot, man.
Yeah, we covered a lot, man. And I got a dip, man, because I got a class. I'm gonna probably skip that one too. I skipped class this morning, man. Shout out to my teacher.
Oh man.
I'm fucking leaving Hawaii. I'm moving. All right. So I got shit to do. I ain't got time to be at class. I actually
what time is it, by the way, over there?
It's like it's 2:20 p.m., man. It's 2:20 p.m. Hawaii Pacific time. This is the last time the podcast will be broadcast from Hawaii unless I get paid to come back out here. You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
but you got anything for the people before we get out of here?
Hey man, just stay safe out there. That's all I gotta say, man. Stay safe and stay you.
Yeah, man. All I'm gonna say is this, man. Let them hoes ho and fuck being woke. Should have never been sleep. We out, man.